Okay, I'm gonna try to do this over again. The last one is kind of, I messed up something. So kind of go through all the questions. Piecewise function, a lot of you guys have issue with piecewise functions. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and look at this piecewise function here. The first one is, we're gonna look at the question again. The question is gonna be 2 over 3x minus 2, x is greater than 2, negative 2 when between 0 and 3, and negative 2x minus 5 is between negative 2 to 0, and x equal to negative 2, less than negative 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off 4 different sections about this graph. I'm going to put it on the bottom. So we're going to start with the x greater than 3, and it's going from here to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the bottom. So going from, this is line 1. That's line 1. From here to here is line 2. And from here to here is line 3. And from here on is line 4. Okay, so now I'm going to start by graphing this, which is 2 over 3x minus 2. 2 over 3x minus 2 is going to go start right here because the y-intercept at negative 2. And going up to right 3. And that's going to be, now the line 1 start from here. See this region from line 1 is going from this point and on because restriction. So right here it's going to have an open circle. And then I have a line that going through here. And line 2 is going to be negative 2. So negative 2 is going to open circle here. And it's going to go all the way to close circle because the inequality sign, the restriction, and the y value is going to be that way. And from 0 to negative 2, it's going to give you negative 2x minus 5. So it's going to be here. It's open circle. And the slope is negative 2. So, and this one should be an open circle as well. So it's going through here. And then x less than negative 2 is going to be 3x minus 6y is equal to 6. Now this one's kind of hard to graph, so that's when I kind of have to work it out. So 3x minus 6y is equal to 6. And you set it to y equal to mx plus b form. So I'm going to minus 3x on both sides. I'm going to get negative 6y is equal to negative 3x plus 6. Divided by negative 6, divided by negative 6, divided by negative 6. It's equal to y equal to 1/2 x minus 1. So I'm going to go to minus 1, and that slope is going upright. So going here. So I'm going to kind of draw it here. But the problem is I don't want anything on this side. I want actually after this side. So I'm going to have an open circle here. And it's going to go in dot, dot, dot. So then you're going to have a line going from here to here. Okay, so that is your first graph. Now, what is the f of a negative 2? So what is the f of negative 2? Now, this one's kind of tricky because negative 2, if you go in here, that means when x is equal to negative 2, what is my y value? But here it's going to be no solutions. Okay, and then you're going to say f of 1. F of 1, then you're going to go to what? Go to the x is equal to 1, what happened to the y value is going to be negative 2. Okay, and then f to the 5 over 2, well, what is 5 over 2? Well, 5 over 2 is basically 2.5. It's going to go see what has happened with 2.5 in this case. Well, 2.5 is right here and it's right here, so it's still negative 2. So they both answer as negative 2. And there we go, we finished your first questions of the piecewise function. Okay? So the next question, we're going to have to read the graph and tell us what is it. So we're going to erase this part, and we're going to go to the next questions. And we're going to look at this question right here, and we're going to write the equation right next to it. So now let's start with the first equation. The first equation I would do is write restriction, because on the test you really need to write a restriction. The restriction says x is greater than 3, actually greater than less equal to 3, because this is a closed circle, so it's greater than 3, so let's move on from here to here. And that's my first restriction. The second restrictions occur between positive 3, because you're going from positive 3 to the negative 3. So we're going to say that is between negative 3 and positive 3 here. One of them is closed circle, because this one's a closed circle, therefore this inequality sign is going to be here. So you realize I do the restriction first. Now the last one is going to be x is less than negative 3. And I just do the restriction, I didn't do the function, because I think it's easier to tell my restrictions. So this is the first restriction, this is the second restriction, this is the third restriction here. So then when x is greater than equal to 3, so I'm going to look at this function here. So I'm going to look at the slope of this line. So if you pay attention, the slope is actually go up 4 units, right 3 units. So you know the slope is 3 over 4. And then we're going to go and keep on forward. We're going to say y is equal to 3 over 4x, because that's the slope. But now you're going to trace it back this point. So it's going to go down 4 units, right 3 units, 4 units, right 3 units. So my y-intercept is actually at negative 4. So my first function is going to be like this. Now what you should do, you should check on the decimals and look at see if it's right. Now look at this point here. So this is restriction from negative 3 to positive 3. So I will make sure to find out what happened here. What's y-intercept? Well, y-intercept is positive 3. So, and the slope is going to be negative 2, right 3. So it's actually y is equal to, so second function is actually y equal to negative 2, 3, x, and then we're going to say plus 3. And that's my second function. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the third function. The third function is y equal to, now do you have to write y? No, you don't have to. So it's going to be negative 2, because there's a horizontal line here. The y value is negative 2. So that makes some first equation, second equation, and third equation. I kind of told you there's a 3-piece. So that means there are 3 equations. Now I'm going to go find out what happened to those values. So f of negative 5. Now for me is I can go back to evaluate this, but I already give you a graph, so I might as well just look at what happened to y value here. Now the y value here is kind of hard to read, so it's going to go in from here to here. So it's roughly 2.75, I would say around 2.75, but I don't know. So I really need to find a function. In this case, that I have to find a function. So I need to find this equation here. So y is equal to, so what happened? Y is equal to 3 over 4x minus 4. So what happened when x is equal to, I'm sorry, they wanted negative 5, so they wanted this side. So negative 5 is going to go in this way. You can go down here, that's equal to negative 2. So the answer is this one is negative 2. And then I'm going to go into looking at 0. That means when x is equal to 0, what's my y value? Well, x is equal to 0 is right here. My y value is 3, so that's equal to 3. So I don't even really have to evaluate this. And then we're going to go to f of 6. Well, f of 6 is going to be right here. Okay? And we see the y value is 4, so my answer is 4. So that's the answer for number 2. Okay, I feel like I'm doing this by myself, nobody's watching. But hopefully that one person is watching is appreciating it. So now we're going to have this questions. It's graphing inequality. So we're going to show you what a question is. So we're going to erase this part. A lot of you guys graph wrong side, shaded wrong side. This is an inequality question. The first question, I'm going to write it here. I'm going to say y is less than negative 1/2 x plus 3. And 2x minus 4y is greater or equal to 4. Okay, so that is the equation. That's a system of inequality. So we're going to graph the first inequality first, but the first is less than. So it's less than, that means is dotted line. And we're also going to graph this line, so we're going to treat it, like I said, treat as equal sign first. So y equal to -1/2 x plus 3. So that means plus 3 is right here. And go down 1, right? 2 is going to go in this way. Now, that's not piecewise function, so there's no restriction. The line just keep on going and going and going. Doesn't really stop. Okay, I have to use the whole board. But then it's dotted line, so we're going to draw a dotted line right in all the things here. Now, again, you should check your answer on your decimal, so try to do it and see what happens. Now, for some of you guys don't know how to shade, here's where you have to pay attention. We're going to test. So on the test, you have to show the test point. So we're going to test 0, 0. Okay? So we're going to plug in 0, 0 in there. So what's going to get 0 is less than 3. Then you're going to say, well, is that true? 0 is less than 3. Of course it's true. So this is a test point. So we're going to shade the same side as the test point. So we're going to shade all the sides right here. Okay. Now I wish I had 2 different markers here, but I don't. So we're just going to work with that. So now we're going to graph this line. Remember, we told you to treat it as equal sign. So we're going to say 2x minus 4y is greater than 4. Then we're going to move the 2x to the other side. So it's going to be greater than -2x plus 4. Subtract 2x on both sides. I'm going to divide by -4. Remember, we're going to treat it equal sign, so we're going to try that as equal sign right now because we don't care about what that sign is. And we're going to talk about that. A lot of people ask me this question in today's review. So divided by this -4, divided by this -4, divided by this -4. Y is equal to 1/2 x minus 1. So 1/2 of x minus 1 is right here. Minus 1 is going to go positive slope. So it's going to go here, here, and here. Now we have to pay attention. Are they solid line or dotted line here? So we know this one is greater than 4, greater than or equal to 4. So we know it's solid line. So this one is very easy. We're just going to graph solid line all the way across from one side to the other side. And we're going to keep on going here. Okay, so that's a solid line. Now we're going to do a test point here, but we're going to test to here. So a lot of you guys test, make sure you test on original. So we're going to plug in 0 and 0 here. So that's going to be 0 is greater than 4. So is that true or false? Well, 0 is greater than 4, that's true. No, that's false. I'm lying. So that's a false here. So that means I'm going to shade away. I'm going to shade away. So this is a 0, 0 here. I'm at this line. So let me double check. It's this line. And this is a point. I'm going to shade it away. So do I shade this side or shade this side? So we have to pay attention. This is what we're testing. And we say it's not on this side. So it must be on the bottom side. So therefore, it's going to be graded like this. Now your overlap region is here. So you should shade it completely right here. And you're going to get an answer for that side. So hopefully that helped you solve the problem. And I don't really want to go over the second one because I don't have time. But you should try the second one. At worst, just try it back here and do it again and see where the testing point is. Okay? Understand that. That's very, very important. Can somebody tell me who's watching? Because I have seen one person. I don't know who are you. But it'd be nice to know at least somebody's appreciating this. Put a comment on the bottom if you can. Oh, maybe not. Okay. But anyway, that's this graph. And you should try number 4 by yourself. Because I don't want to do all the question. You should do some question on your own. So we're going to go to the next questions here. We're not going to do number 4 because you're going to do number 4. We're going to do number 5. Number 5, those are elimination. So all those are very quick. You just have to find out what the opposite is. So 2x minus y is equal to 10. And 3x plus y is equal to 10. And then we can actually add those two because we have opposites here already. So it's 5x is equal to 20, x is equal to 4. And you can plug it back in. It's going to be 8. Y is going to be actually probably -2. And that's our first question. That was an easy one. Hopefully this one's on the test, right? And everybody should be able to get this one. So that's a phi A. And then we're going to go to phi B. Phi B is going to be 2x minus 7y is equal to 12. And 3x minus 2y is equal to 1. And then if you want to add this, well, that doesn't have opposite. So there's a problem. We had to create the opposites. So for me, I'd rather deal with the x. I can target y too, but it doesn't really matter because I think the number has to be bigger for y as opposed to for x. So I'm going to deal with x. I'm going to find a way to create a, either opposite x to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at its common factor is 6. So I'm going to multiply this first equation by -3 and the second equation by 2. And if I do that, that's going to give you a -6x plus 21y is equal to -36. And here it's going to be 6x minus 4y is equal to 2. I'm going to add those two equations now. Now I have the opposite, so it's going to be 17y. And it's equal to -34. Y is equal to -2. I solved it, plug it back in. Do I plug in here or here? What doesn't matter, but long as which one's easier. So I'm going to plug in here, this one, this number is smaller. So -2 times -2 is equal to +4. So actually 3x plus 4 is equal to 1. Subtract 4, x is equal to -1. So we just solved the equation here. Now some people say, do I want a coordinate form? Yeah, it'd be nice if you do coordinate form because when it's a nonlinear system, it's actually very helpful. It's actually -1, -2. That's x equal to -1. Now you give it this answer, am I going to give you wrong? No. If you give this answer, am I going to give you wrong? No. They both are right answers. Okay. Well, my family is coming back, so it's going to be kind of noisy here. So, but I'm going to go through a couple more questions. Just don't pay attention to the background. So, x squared plus y squared is equal to 5. 3x minus 2y or minus y is equal to 5. So we're going to look at these questions here. We're going to say, okay, how do I solve the equation? Well, there's a system equation. The problem with this one is nonlinear. Actually, x squared plus y squared equal to 5 is actually a circle with a radius around roughly 2 point something. But I don't know, what is it? Square root of 5, but we don't know the value. So here, the easiest target is actually y. So y, I'm going to go and solve y. Y is equal to 3x minus 5. And then once you have y, I'm going to plug into this equation. So it's going to be x squared plus 3x minus 5 squared is equal to 5. I'm going to have x squared. I'm going to factor this. Hi.
Did you eat?
No, I didn't eat. Thank you. Minus 30x plus 25 is equal to 5. So I just FOIL that part. So that's going to give you x squared. I hear it's going to give you 10x squared minus 30x and then plus 20. So if I factor out 10, I'm going to get x squared minus 3x plus 2, that's equal to 0. X minus 2, x minus 1 equal to 0. X equal to 2, x equal to 1. You can plug it this to original equation, so you are going to get y. I'm going to do that in my head, so it'll be 1. And x equal to 1 is going to be -2. So you're going to have this two coordinates here. Y is equal to -2. Okay. Y is equal to -2. Okay. So that was one of the harder one because this is a system of nonlinear equation. And then hopefully you got all that. We're gonna go to the next question, which is 2 over 3x minus 3 over 4y is equal to -1. And -1 over 6x plus 3 over 8y is equal to 1. So what you happen to do is you're gonna get rid of fraction. We all say fractions are friends because right now we actually know how to do fraction. We can multiply this by 12 because common denominator between 3 and 4 is 12. 6 and 8 is going to be 24. So then once you did that, 12 divided by 3 is 4, so it's going to get 8x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. It's going to be minus 9y is equal to -12. And now here, if I multiply this by 24, it's going to be -4x plus 9y is equal to 24. It's okay. Then that's going to give you 4x equal to 12, x is equal to 3. And you're going to plug in 3 into here. So it's going to be 24 minus 9y equal to -12. So y is equal to 4. So x equal to 3, y equal to 4. We are almost done, but just keep on working. We're gonna do number 6 and number 9 and number 8. Okay, so hi Max.
Hi.
How are you doing?
What doing?
Now stick your head here. Look. Look. Alright.
This.
I'm recording something. Almost done. Okay, go. Go take a shower.
I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to go take a shower.
You don't want to take a shower? Go, 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 go. Hurry up.
Emma, you want me to fry rice for you?
Go take a shower. Go. Hurry.
Huh?
So the next question is going to be 3 and -5 and -7 and 10. So what happened here is we got 2 points. How do we find the point slope form? So this is question 6. How to find point slope form?
4.
It is not 4, but probably is close to 4. So we're going to do the slope formula to find out what the slope is. So it'll be 10 minus -5 over -7 minus 3. So that's equal to 15 over
5.
10.
5.
Almost. It's actually 15 over 10. So it's going to be -3 over 2.
5.
Is it 5? No, it's not 5.
And,
So now I'm going to use this point. Or use this point. Doesn't matter. So it's going to be y minus... Go take a shower. Listen to go, go, go.
no.
Yes. Okay, Devin, you go take a shower first. -5 is equal to -3 over 2 times x minus 3. And then that's my point slope form. How do I get points in that set form? It's just going to add plus 5 is equal to -3 over 2 times x minus 3. I'm going to do y plus 5 is equal to -3 over 2x minus 9 over 2 plus I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. So y is equal to -3 over 2x plus -10 over 2, so it's going to be -1/2. Now how do I get a standard form? I just multiply everything by 2, so it's going to be 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 1. So I'm going to move this to the other side. 3x plus 2y is equal to negative 1. So this is number 6. I'm going to let you do number 7. You can check your answer online. I'm going to do question 8 and 9. So hopefully you got this. So the point here is we're going to do number 8. Number 8 is actually 2 and negative 1 parallel to 2y minus 5x is equal to 12.
Not screaming.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna using this point, just like what we did in class here. So we're gonna actually use this point here, this equation to find the slope of this. And then we're gonna move that to the other side. So 2y is equal to 5x plus 12. And divide by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to get y equal to 5 over 2, x plus 6. But it doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is this part, which is 5 over 2. They say parallel. So what does that parallel mean? So that means y minus negative 1 is equal to 5 over 2 times x minus 2. Okay, that's it. Done.
Okay.
Yeah.
What comes next?
Yeah, I don't know.
8. Let
Yeah.
me 8.
It is 8. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the next question? After 8 is what? What
8.
number after 8? What's 8 plus 1? What's 8 plus 1?
No.
You don't know?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know?
But that's not my grandma.
Do you know what's 8 plus 1? What's the number after 8? Almost. That's the number before 8. What's after 8?
8.
And what's the next number?
And then
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What?
Not 4. Okay, number 9. 8, 9. Okay, so same questions, similar questions. 2 to the negative 1, perpendicular to 2y plus 6x equal to 12. So 2y plus 6x is equal to 12. We had to find the slope intercept triangle. So it'll be 2y is equal to negative 6x plus 12. Divide by 2, y is equal to negative 3x plus 6. So that is the perpendicular. Well, no, that's not perpendicular. That is the slope. So what's perpendicular to negative 3? Perpendicular is going to be opposite reciprocal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1 over 3. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's right. So then it's going to be y minus negative 1 is equal to 1 over 3 times x minus 2. And that's it. Done. Question 12. It's very similar. I'm okay. I'm going to do 13a and b.
What?
13 says 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. How do I find the x-intercept? Well, x-intercept, that means y equal to 0 and solve for x. So y equal to 0 is going to give you 3x is equal to 6.
Yeah.
And then x is equal to 2. Is that right? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so your x-intercept is not x equal to 0, it's actually a coordinate. So y-intercept means x is equal to 0. So it's going to be 3 times 0 plus 2 times 0, y is equal to 6. So y is equal to 3. Okay, so it's actually 0, 3.
Actually, you're done?
Almost done. One more question. And then you gotta go take a shower. Y is equal to -5 with 3x minus 10. Well, x-intercept, again, y equal to 0, solve for x. So 0 is equal to -5 with 3x minus 10. Move the 10 to the other side, so it'll be 10. What? Something wrong? Are you sure?
What's the thing?
Is 13? No, it's not 13. Multiply this by 3, that's going to give me 30 is equal to -5x. And then divide by -5, divide by -5, x is equal to -6. So again, it's -6, 0. Y-intercept is pretty easy. It's actually right here, so it'll be 0 to -10.
Is it not?
I think that's the right answer. Okay. Next question here is, now this question is kind of hard, but I want you to leave it on the last one here. So we're going to show the last questions here. Question 52. I don't know how I get 13 to 52, right? So this question's here. Let's put it on the front. So obviously there's 2 lines. But you see, I give you those 2 points for a reason, because those 2 points are able to get you the equation of the line. If you have equation of a line, then you should be able to solve the questions here. So you see here, the intersection is a solution. So we want to find the intersection, the coordinate of the intersection. And now here it's kind of difficult because a lot of you guys just don't know how to start. But you guys already know how to do this, because this is actually a really difficult question. 31?
Yeah.
Okay, well. So we're going to look at these questions here. First of all, we have 2 points. So we're going to find the point that has increasing slope. So that's going to be y is equal to something x plus 4. Oh, plus 1, sorry. I lied. And the slope is going to be 3 over 4.
Yeah.
And that's the first line. The second line is going to be y equal to, well,
minus.
It is actually minus. The slope is negative. So the slope is actually going down 3, right 2. And if you go up 3, right 2, it should be, the y-intercept should be 8.
8.
So it should be 3 over 2 negative x plus 8. So then you can use substitution, because this is actually a substitution right here. You can substitute this into here, so it'll be 3 over 4 x plus 1 is equal to -3 over 2 x plus 8. And then you can multiply everything by 4, and then you're going to get 3x plus 4 is equal to -6x plus, if I multiply by 4, it's going to be 32. So this one's going to give you 9x is equal to 28. X is equal to 28 over 9.
That's 9.
So that is about 3 and 1. 3 and 1 over 9. The next one is going to plug this into the y value. You're going to solve for it, but I don't know the answer. You guys can figure out. Okay, that's it today. Yeah. Yeah. This is my son, Max. He's eating. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi to.
Hi, David.
What are you doing? Don't say hi. Why are you hiding? Okay, see you guys.